Like Yamish said, you gave us resiliency, made us who we are, but we have to remember to take care of ourselves and rest, because being resilient is exhausting. Being an example to the world is exhausting, right? And all of you are out there doing so much work for yourselves, your families, our community, and we recognize you for it, and we want to thank you for it. And another mom that I want to thank, for whom we would not be here if it weren't for this next lady, Nadine Duplessy Kearns. Okay? Let me remind all of you who are here, most of you know this, and those of you at home, that if it weren't for this lady 16 years ago creating the community that Yamish was talking about, because we land here in D.C., we found ourselves here, and we're looking for our Haitian sisters. We want to know, where can we get some griot and some jury à jonjon? You know what I mean? We still don't have the pate in this DMV, but somebody's going to figure that one out. But that is what led to the Haitian Ladies Network. This brunch, this is the 16th time this brunch has taken place. That has been the catalyst for what we are doing here today that reaches so far beyond just sisterhood, right? Sisterhood that is now galvanized into political action, community action. How many of you all have decided you're going to raise your hand and volunteer to help one another, right? Remember, Gailene needs you too, huh? She only has 7 people working for her, and she's holding it down there in Miami. Anyhow, I want to also, one quick message. By the way, you don't want to miss Nadine, right? She is our sister who brought us all here together with the help of all these other ladies. But she's going to share with you, there is more food, ladies, because you can't come to a Haitian party and not have enough food. So if you do need a second and a refill because you danced and maybe you sweat your hair out a little bit like I did, you can go across the hall and get some extra food, okay? But without further ado, Nadine, will you come and share with us? Remind us why we are all here in celebration of one another. And we thank you. Standing ovation for this lady.
Whew. I can do this. Yes, you can. I was holding it together until Yamish said something, so. But bonjour, mesdames. Bonjour, tout le monde. Qui j'ennuie. I've got more Creole. I'll unpack some later. But good afternoon and welcome. And it's an absolute honor and joy to be with all of us, women of Haitian descent. I'm going to be brief because I know the champagne is still flowing. But I have a very important job. I have to set the context for what brought us here today. And I have to say thank you to a lot of people. This does not happen without an army, a force, a délégation, whatever you want to call it. First, because I'm bien élevée, I'm going to introduce myself properly. My name is Nadine Duplessy Kearns. And Duplessis, my mom is a Durandis from Léogane. Léogane. And my dad is a Duplessy and a Felix from Okai. That's what you were waiting for, yes. I was born in Port-au-Prince, and I attended Saint François d'Assise. And I came to Boston at the age of 11, landed at Logan Airport. It was May and it was cold. And like many of you, I came from a long line of strong Haitian women. Both of my grandmothers, although they could not read or write, they truly embodied the saying of analphabet pas bête. They were the smartest women I knew. They were market ladies. And so to this day, I'm always about money, and I could always count the money. And that lives in me. So after Boston and school, I came to DC looking for the Haitians. And it was hard to find a central community. And this is the story where I pause because my husband always says, but I was right here with you. And I want to acknowledge Monsieur André Kearns, not Duplessy Kearns, who we just celebrated 20 years. And actually, I'm lying. It was 21 years. Forgive me, monsieur, Madrave. And he has watched the evolution, yes, of this convening in this space, and I want to say thank you to him and our sons, Julian and Jacques Kearns. So the story began that I was here, newlywed, and I was looking for my Haitian sisters because I have 4 sisters, a sister cousin, and over 40 female first cousins. And so to be in a space with our Haitian women is unnatural. So I started having brunch with just a few of us, calling it the DC Haitian Ladies Brunch. And it grew, and it became too much for me. And so it expanded into a host committee. And I want to give a special mention to my first co-hostess for this effort. She was here with us yesterday, and she's not here with us today. But this is the first person who stepped up and said, I'll help you pull this together because I was doing it from an Excel spreadsheet. And so we began co-hosting together then, and I want to acknowledge that were it not for her saying, I'll help you, I was ready to end the brunch in 2010. I was done. And so I wanted to pause and say a special thank you for her and her contribution. And every year, we would begin again in hosting it. And a big turning point for us was in 2013, when we began meeting at the Embassy of Haiti for brunch each year, continuing the impact that we were having. And in 2016, something really strange happened, which was many of you began rolling suitcases into the embassy. And we had no place to store them. Tamar, right? You were working there. And we said to ourselves, why are you here? Ou qui te haïtien Miami? And they said this was a space where you didn't have to be anything but a Haitian woman. Nobody asked you to do anything. And you could just come together and reconnect, find cousins, find classmates. And so that's why women kept coming. So we said to ourselves, let's expand that conversation, and had the first annual symposium at Howard University in 2017, where Yamiche was in the front row. And Karine Jean-Pierre said yes to us to be our keynote speaker, and in a fireside chat with Stacy Samuel. These were people that I didn't know personally, but they said yes when we asked them to be in space with us and take a chance and walk into a room where we were all pulling together the logistics. And I want to say thank you to Karine Jean-Pierre for saying yes, for being our first keynote speaker. And so we grew. We came together and had a retreat at your apartment building, and we began putting the foundation and building blocks that would let us transition from a social, professional networking brunch to a network. So we had to do that work. We had to incorporate ourselves. We had to file paperwork and do all that fun stuff. And we had to put together governance and bylaws and all the fun stuff to be a committee, a steering committee, and a founding committee. So when you see the distinction of founding members and steering committee members, it was because legally we incorporated ourselves as such with 10 of us in 2017. So you're not here for all that history, so I want to move on to sort of what we were doing when we began planning this weekend, which was very important to us. And the reason why you're here this weekend. And I had to write this down because I have to get it straight. The theme for this weekend is igniting our power. And why did we choose that theme? I know you all love it because you get bags and everything, and it's fun. And we love the pink bags, which were made in Haiti, by the way. We want to thank Gina Coles for that contribution. We had all our bags made in Haiti for the second year. Igniting our power is because we wanted to create the space to recharge all of you. You do so much in your own communities. You're not coming to find the power here. It's not here. It's in you. We just wanted to give you a little boost so that when you leave here, you can have a little pep in your step. And it doesn't hurt that you get to habiller pour tout kob nou. That never hurts. So we've come together to pour into each other and to ignite each other. And we build it for us because this is the weekend we wanted. So we did that. And many of you reached out, whether through Facebook, at Haitian Ladies Network, Instagram, also at Haitian Ladies Network, or an email to say, what's happening in our country? What's happening at the border? What can we do? And so we paused about 2 or 3 weeks ago and pivoted. This is what we do as Haitian women. We listen to each other, we change some of our content, and we made this pivot to really focus on what can we do now that we have families at the border that do not have the access that we have. We needed to be trained up. We needed information. We needed to be more effective as advocates and change makers. And as Haitian women, we're never far from thinking about our Haitian sisters in Haiti. It's never going to be any different. So we wanted to bring their voices. We wanted to bring them with us, whether physically, because we have a delegation, but the women from Haiti who traveled, I could not ever have imagined, and we could not have ever imagined, that you would leave your country to come here in DC because we invited you. And you actually showed up. Please, femme haïtienne qui fait voyage ça, mes amis, Velina, Elizabeth, Daniel Saint-Lô, Margaret Lubin, gade moun. So, and we also heard from Pascal Solage. Yes, I'll get to that. So as Haitian women, we always need to be together and be with one another. So for those reasons and for many others, this is the weekend that we created. And I just want to pause here for a minute and just sort of do a little recap because I think it's important. It's been a long 3 days, ladies. We did so much. But I'm going to combine my thank yous with the recap. So first, we kicked off on Friday night with a private screening of Frida. This is a film that's never been seen in the US. That's why it was a private screening, no media. Because at some point, when it premieres, y'all could say you saw it first. And when it wins more awards, to follow the 2021 Cannes Film Festival special mention, you're going to say you got to see it. So thank you, Jessica Generous, for using art to change our hearts. Then we kicked off with, many of you, yoga and meditation with Nzinga Oniwosan. Come on. Thank you for your healing work to bring our culture into yoga. Then you had a master class. When I say master class, c'est pour te charger de l'argent plus, oui. With Karen André, plus l'argent. Plus. Igniting our own political power? Thank you, Karen. What you dropped yesterday When I called Karen 2 weeks ago, I said, we're going to pivot. She said, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to teach y'all a master class. I said, okay, merci. That could have been 10 hours packaged and sold. Gerline Joseph from Haitian Bridge Alliance. When something happens at the border, I'm sorry, Gerline. I had to do this. Bring some tissue. Because Gerline Joseph, remember that movie Ghostbusters? Who are you going to call? Call Gerline Joseph when there's something happening at the border. But then don't call her, send her money instead. Really, truly. That's what she needs. Shannon Laguerre Mengret, who said yes to us, and just days, I tell you, we were looking for Immigration 101 master class. Shannon, you broke it down, Shannon. You gave us the history so we could move forward better informed, so we know what we're doing. Pascal Solage. Pascal Solage. Not only in Frida, she was one of the actresses. Y'all didn't know that. And she came yesterday. We said, give us some context. Ground us with the into the realities of Haiti today. And you just left us transfixed. No, there was no questions or answers. You gave it all to us. So we thank you for taking the time to be with us and for being an urgent beacon of change. Along with all of you who also came from Haiti, I also want to mention Velina Charlier. Yo Makome. In collaboration with Aibo Post and Chocarela, we had original reporting. We sent camera crews to Haiti to capture original reporting on the realities in Haiti today, centering Haitian women. You'll never forget the women whose faces and voices you heard yesterday in the stories, which, by the way, they will still be up on our website. I'm sorry, our Facebook and Instagram and YouTube will be continuing to share this content because we did it in collaboration with Aibo Post, with J3 Dumont, et puis avec Chocarela, Karel Ped. So this is in collaboration, and so we have them to remind us of what is happening in Haiti. And Passage with the incomparable Linda Francois. I mean, every year she just astounds us. Linda had to go back to New York, so she couldn't stay. But she did do the Tout C'est Pas collaboration with Riva Neri Presil yesterday afternoon. And Riva is a multidisciplinary artist, and she had her drummers and her team from New York. So we want to thank Linda and Riva for showing us that we must use our minds and our bodies to connect to our Haitian ancestors. And this morning, Nadje Dachapoto, li leve grand matin, li pare. Li pare pour nous. She brought us a healing session called Igniting Peace in the Midst of Chaos. And that's exactly what we needed. I'm almost done, ladies. But I want to thank you, the audience for coming, because we wouldn't have had a convening without you all. And we couldn't have kept the program moving without Tamar Harrigan yesterday. And Stacy Samuel today. So I wanted to say thank you to them. And Yamish, who always says yes when we ask her to come every year, whether it's just to be a guest, just to be with us. She always makes time. She'll get off the air and return our phone call. Who does that? So we want to say thank you to them. And you saw that we had a lot of signage with logos. The logos stand for something. These are our partners, the organizations that have invested in us. I'll remind you all again, Tamar said it yesterday. We are a volunteer, supposedly steering committee, because we gave ourselves that official title, but it's a working committee. We did all the work with the assistance of a lot of folks that I'll thank later. But our partners have put in some financial contributions, some thought partnership, some content creation with us. And we want to acknowledge Vivens Media Group. Those of you who know Solange Vivens, who couldn't be here this weekend, she's Florida. She gave us seed money. Remember in 2017, she got up and pledged $10,000 every year for 3 years, and she got us started. And she made do in her commitment, and this year she said, you need more, I'll give you a little more to make this happen. And joining us at the signature level, you see the UPS logo when tu truck qui devant la caillou? That's the real UPS logo, you guys. UPS Foundation stepped up and joined as a signature partner. I want to thank their CEO, Nicole Clifton, for doing that. This is the first time that they've made a contribution to a Haitian organization. We are thankful for Zami La Santé, Partners in Health, a longtime collaborator and partner. Edward Jones, with Swanelli Paulin. Add Color, which is celebrating a milestone anniversary this year, is one of our partners. Focal with Elizabeth Pierre-Louis, who joined in person. Creole Essence at Ulta Beauty. There is a discount code in your program, ladies, from Yves Carmel Perus from Creole Essence. So see the discount code. It's a real discount code. So you go on their website and place an order. You get a percentage off the products. Caribbean Bottling Company. Bus Boys and Poets, which is here. One Diaspora. Island TV. I know Island TV's in the house. Where is she? Thank you for letting us take over the platform. And LVMH, because the champagne you're drinking comes from them. Louis Vuitton, Moet, and Hennessy. That's what LVMH stands for. So we want to thank them for blessing us with the champagne. All right, I'm almost done. I'm going to run through these really quickly. There are patrons in the program booklet that chose to honor the matriarchs and their family. And I want to acknowledge Michael Racine. Because 2 years ago, we had a very special guest with us, Madame Racine, who's no longer with us. So I want to say thank you for honoring her by supporting, continuing to build this network. Thank you. Mother, Madame Racine is the mother of District Attorney Carl Racine, who's on TV a lot, and Attorney General, of District of Columbia. That's And so we have to remember, ladies, that in 2019, there were people who were here physically with us who are not with us. And we all remember Midwin Charles. She was at brunch with us and in the symposium in 2019. So it's been quite a year. So I'll conclude by saying thank yous to some special people for making it happen. So Joy Cosmella from the Darcy Hotel and Sergio Marrero, who's our sound engineer. Chef Sebastian Solomon from Quarantine Cuisine. Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm still going. Chef Sebastian Solomon, who cooked all of the food, part of the food that you ate. And I want to acknowledge the working committee as well as the volunteers, Nami Charleston, and her team of young ladies who came to join us, Faraja, Edna Ulysse, Brianna Tessa, Cassandra Louis, Kerlin Perry, Olivia Rodrigue. Suyen Simon Bertrand, who came and took charge. Christina Wright, our publicist, who made us really look good this year. The Men of Haitian Ladies Network. And I'm so sorry, Farah was trying to tell me something and I couldn't really. Natalie Robinson, one of our patrons. Kislin Jean-Marie Cherestal, who couldn't be here with us, is also one of our patron supporters. And there are many of you, if you look in the program booklet, that your names were listed because you purchased the special ticket as weekend supporters to be able to help us offset the production costs of this weekend. So I want to take a moment to direct your attention to the list of women who kicked in a little bit more so we can make this happen. And so we get to the table of people who are working and always working and always working. The founders and steering committee members. I want to acknowledge first, let's acknowledge the emeritus for their contribution. I know we mentioned Cleve Mezido as a legacy contributor. But Karen Andre, who's now emerita, she's Tamar Harrigan. Kislin Jean-Marie Cherestal. She's in Senegal, so she could not be here today. And Fendi Messi, who has a birthday in a couple of days. So these are the women who helped us build this network. And the current steering committee members are, I'm going to start with someone who is very, very special to so many of us, Ariel Dominique. Ariel could not be with us this weekend, but she's with us, she's watching, she's texting, she's directing us. She is running this production from Miami. Clara Bernice. Clara is so talented that she ran production, she ran everything from California, and then showed up and said, I'm ready to go. Theola DeBose. Also known as one of the OGs, she was there 16 years ago at brunch. At the first ever, Theola was there. Nashley Harrigan, who is by profession an ER physician, who runs our communications. She's a creative doctor. Docteur créatif. And Dominique Rachel Pierre, I use your full name. Your whole name, your government name. Farah George Rodrigue. Cynthia Sabin. The first thing Yamish said when she sat down was about the flowers. That is the first thing. And Cynthia did all the floral arrangements. Last night, in the middle of the night. And I already acknowledged the Emerita members, and I wanted to just say, you know, behind the scenes, we had Sam Mozart, our graphic designer, Timoza, also known as Timoza. Dernier Sayid composed our original HLN theme song, and we're still using his music, so I want to acknowledge him. And Smiley Moyes Jr. from Moyes Productions, always ready to step in. Did I forget anyone? Oh. No, seriously, I want to make sure I didn't forget anyone, I think. And Nadine Duplessy Kearns. Oh, the hotel. Yeah. I did. Brunch is not over, you guys. I want to make sure with Stacey Samuel still with us. She's going to give us some final parting words, so please don't get up and go. Papa qui m'a letu, nous la toujours. I want to bring back Stacey Samuel, but I wanted to say thank you to all of you all for taking a chance on us, for reading our emails, sign up for our mailing list if you're not already, following us on social, engaging with us on Facebook, partnering with us to bring workshops like TPS session with Gerline Joseph and Nadine Gédéon a few weeks ago. So when we call on you, we ask for grace. And we want to always know, I know Karen did this a few years ago, is this your first time joining us? You took a chance. Wap mande wap Ovin la. Wap kon nan ki sa o mene, nan ki sa o mete ou. Thank you for taking a chance on us, and thank you for returning year and year after year. So I wanted to say that. And come on, Stacey. I'm going to pass the mic to you, and she will close us out, and then we'll keep the champagne flowing. But she'll tell you what to do because that's what Stacey does. Thank you.
Always producing. Thank you, Nadine. One more time for Nadine, right? We're so grateful to her, the whole working committee, the steering committee, Karel, everybody who made this happen for us. But, you know, I want to remind all of you, you know, today is Sunday. And for many of us, it is a day of worship, right? So while we are here in community, I just wanted to share some thoughts from a Jesuit priest, a friend of mine shared with me, because I thought it was very fitting for us. So just a moment, you know, I'm not taking you to church, but it is just a moment to reflect. What are you in love with? What seizes your imagination? Will affect everything. It will decide what will get you out of bed in the morning, what you do with your evenings, how you spend your weekends, what you read, whom you know, what breaks your heart, and what amazes you with joy and gratitude. Fall in love, stay in love, and it will decide everything. And if that doesn't sort of encapsulate what this weekend has been for all of us these last 3 days, we are in love with our country, we are in communion with one another, we are amazed by each other, and we are here to amplify each other, right? And you know, for those of us who speak Creole, who don't speak Creole too well, by the way. But I'm going to attempt this because my mom shared something with me and I want to share it with all of you. C'est pour nous toutes, mettre tête nous ensemble, pour nous capables aider mon pays en nous. Right? Right? Okay, I know. Listen, everybody's been laughing at my Creole since I was a kid, but it don't matter. Je pouvais le dire en français, but that's okay because you know what? This is our language. We know it. Oh, thank you. See, this is what we do. We uplift each other, even with our bad Creole, but that's okay. And for those of us here and who are watching live who may not speak Creole yet, we all have to put our heads together in order to help our people. And with that, I want to have everyone grab your glass. We're going to have a champagne toast. Thank you, my dear. Everyone have their glass. This, ladies, is such a privilege and an honor to share this toast with all of you, to each of you, for all that you do, day in, day out, and will continue to do, and we will do together. Here is to the Haitian Ladies Network. Here's to all of you. And let us, as Karen just said, Haiti chérie. Thank you all, ladies, for having me. Thank you. Have a beautiful rest of your day.
We go through resilient people, and we always make it through. So this next song is called
Thank you. We haven't met.
Faut que tout connaît, pas besoin
too. So this next song is called Punchable. Rap baby.
So my song Benji Brown actually had rapping about is I was in Nigeria recording and working for Tito Savage and I reconnected while working at Black Stain, the Beyonce album.